Hello everybody, this is Maniac 4 Bricks. September 1st has passed us. There are a couple new LEGO sets on their way out, some new gift with purchases and promos, and I got none of them. Instead, I picked up some Disney Series 100 figures because they are somehow turning up sparse. You see, I've been kind of slow in collecting the entire series of them. There are some figures that I wanted more than others and much sooner than others, especially for the purposes of Bizarre Lego. So I didn't really go through every single pack right away, and I know they've been out for a while, and I know there's still places that have them. My Lego store does not have them right now. I don't know if they're going to get them back, but I also know that the Marvel series is out in some places right now. I haven't seen them in person yet myself, but I feel like that might be part of the reason why these are turning up a little bit harder to find in some other areas. There were two Walmarts that I went through, and only the second one actually had these packs for me to open for this video. Now, full disclaimer, I have already picked up two of these packs before. One of them that had Stitch, and one of them that had that King, Prince, whatever his name is, from the Robin Hood movie. I actually don't remember it. I don't even know if I've ever seen it. I can't say that I've seen every single Disney property that these Disney figures are based off of, but there are some of them on my list for a while, like Coco, so I'm sure I'll get around to it, especially with Halloween coming up. Dia de los Muertos is also around that time, so it feels more appropriate. I should be watching it real soon. Now, the weird part is, after I picked up these packs, literally as I scanned them at the register in the self-checkout, I looked at this one and noticed that there was already an opening. Now, in the aisle itself, I found a stray Lego piece. I didn't know it actually belonged to one of these, but it turns out it was part of it. So technically this figure is already opened, and I know what it is. It's Robin Hood. And that's all of Robin Hood that it is. There was no head. There was no other accessories. Just this. So I paid $5 for half of a figure. Kind of a bust. Real bummer that I found it like that in the store. But I'm sure I could find a head sometime later on Bricklink or something and complete the rest of the figure some other time. Now, with the rest of these packs, I don't know what's in them. I literally just grabbed them, and I thought, hey, with 18 figures to collect, I only own 2 of them. Chances are good I'll get some unique ones. The one I want the most right now would be Pinocchio, because it is a standard minifigure head that has a molded nose on it. And it took me a while to actually figure that out. I don't know why I didn't just watch reviews earlier, but I'm glad I know that. But that was something that I did want, especially for Bizarre Lego purposes, for more photography, because the evolution of minifigures is a long photographic session. I've been taking a whole bunch of photos and rearranging and trying to figure out what's the best way to set them all up, or I have to do it on the computer or something. So let's see who we got. Okay, so I know that this character is from The Princess and the Frog, and I believe there was a meme going around a while ago with TikTok or whatever with him, or like a phrase or an intro to a song that he has. I don't know that movie. I've never watched Princess and the Frog. I'll probably watch it at some point. I still got Disney Plus. I'll probably get to it. But at least he has all of his pieces. And that is already sounding good to me. So I'll move him aside. I'll build him up later. Bag number 3, or I guess technically number 2, that's not already open. Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but I have seen that happen before. And usually they're the ones I avoid, but this time I got duped. We got ourselves a lot of red and white. This might be Baymax. Yeah, okay. So Baymax was one that when I first saw pictures, I really didn't care for this figure. I thought it would have looked a lot better if it had another body piece to it, like Taz, or, any number of minifigures. The long arms are fine, but the rest of the body proportions feel off to me. I'll take credit. I'll give this one credit for Bizarre Lego with another arm type that could be attached on minifigs or rock monsters or Angry Birds, same arm connection. That's still good. That's still good to have, but it's not, and I do like Baymax as a character. I just didn't like him as this minifig representation. I thought it really would have worked better if he had a piece in front and back of him to show, him more different from the average minifig. And then he's got this little booster thing. That's kind of neat. What do we got here? almost. That's better. I see green. Is it Tiana? I think that's her name, from The Princess and the Frog. All right. Well, it's, again, not a movie I'm familiar with. It's not a character I'm too familiar with. It's got some nice parts to it, I'll give it that. A lot of nice, as I call it, ghoulish green. I don't remember what the terminology is for Bricklink or Lego themselves on like a yellowish green or bright green or something, but I prefer to call it ghoulish green because it's used a lot of times with like specters and other unnatural, supernatural kind of things. Elves has used it before. It's got a nice hairpiece, solid hairpiece too. But this seems like a new color of frog. Lime? I can't. I would feel really dumb. I feel like we've had a lime frog before, but I don't recall when. And maybe it was from a Disney set for all I know. Maybe it was with like the mini doll version of this character. I'm not sure, but still cool. At least another unique one added to the list. Number 5. Honestly, I wouldn't be upset if I got a second Robin Hood that was complete. It'd be just easier. I wouldn't have to find the head on Bricklink separately. Oh, he's in a bag. Oh, well, it ain't Pinocchio. It's Jiminy Cricket. Somebody actually gave me a shout out on an Instagram post where they posted about Jiminy Cricket on there. So thank you for that. But also, this is another figure that I was very mixed about when I saw the images at first when the series was coming out. I felt it was odd in a couple different ways. For one, I couldn't really tell what style of legs that he had because all the renders almost looked like that they were the same as Pinocchio or other like mid-legged characters, but it turns out they're supposed to be the stationary short legs, the shortest kind for a minifigure as a present. But if I open up the checklist, you'll see what I mean. It looks a bit off. Like it almost looks like they'd be moving like Pinocchio's legs, but they're not. And that's kind of weird. I don't know if that's misleading or anything. In my opinion, I think it is. But it's there. But also the fact that you have Jiminy Cricket as a minifigure in the same size, or almost the same size, as Pinocchio himself. He's a cricket. He's supposed to be much smaller. I think if you pair him up with Pinocchio, it looks very off. But if you have him on his own, yeah, he's perfectly fine. And you could still integrate him in a lot of other Disney sceneries, because he's kind of served as a mascot a couple times in different media over the years. I remember playing a game on my PC called Disney Villains, and he was literally your guide through the game for not only the controls, but also the different worlds you go to. That's a game I would love to play again because it was really fun just seeing the Disney villains, like the classic Disney villains, just being all out in their element. I've never watched the House of Mouse show, but I did know that it had a House of Villains episode. I imagine that episode is like how I felt with the game, because it's always fun to see the villains just at their worst and see them see how much is stacked against you to try to conquer against them. I don't know how to describe it. It's that kind of thing that people say about like Marvel villains or superhero villains in general. That's like, it's always fun to see the villains because they give more motivation towards the hero, and more drive to see the hero succeed. That's better phrasing than earlier. All right, so we do have a Robin Hood in here, a full one, not this one. Maybe I could use this for some other outfit sometime later. I mean, the quill or plume could always be used for something else on its own. I'll have to figure out what to do with the rest of this, but at least we do have a full one in here and an extra tail piece to go with it. All right, second to last one. Be a good one. Oh, okay. Well, this is the one I talked about earlier that I already had. Well, I mean, it's got some good parts that are nice to have extras of, like the sack of money, the actual gold coins themselves. I don't remember if they're the same exact coins as the ones in like the Knight's Castle or the that like collectible minifigure that came out before the Lion Knight's Castle that had like not, is it a loot? some kind of like stringed instrument, medieval stringed instrument. But yeah, he's still got the pieces in there. I'll put him back in here for now. I'll figure out what to do with the spare one of him later. Last one. Don't fail me now. And open. And down it goes. Okay. Another Tiana. Tiara. Tiana. No, I think it is Tiana. I just see tiaras. But Tiana's place. Okay. That's why I thought it was Tiana. Again, gonna have to find a place to use this one as well. So only 2 of them were duplicates. In the batch, there was only 1 that was duplicate. Well, I guess 2 if you count the Robin Hood, but he was incomplete, so it was fine. But let's build them up and wrap up the video. And there we have it. We have 5 unique minifigures added to my Disney 100 collection. So that's a bunch more to add at this point. So I'm counting it up from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7? I just own 7 of them out of 18. Well, I got a lot of work to do then. Yeah, unfortunately, we had a couple of duplicates, as we saw with Tiana and Robin Hood. And the King I didn't build because I've already built him. Like I said before, he's with Stitch. It would be nice. I've heard that that Sorcerer Mickey is like 1 per box. So I haven't come across him yet. Obviously, it's going to be the hardest to find. I was really hoping for Pinocchio, but that hasn't happened yet. And depending on how soon I can find the rest of them, I might just have to omit him from Bizarre Lego Photography for now, and then work him into Volume 2 sometime later. Some of the things, they just kind of come up, and it's like, oh, that's good, that's cool, it's good information, but sometimes comes really soon into the process where I'm already, working through the book. As far as the other characters, they do look nice. They're not bad. This is not a bad selection of them. And they do pick some good ones for different characters. Like, we finally have Aurora and Mulan in minifigure form, which hasn't really happened before this point. It's always been as mini dolls for both of them. But, and Pocahontas, I believe she was also, and maybe Tiana. I think, all 4 of those princesses. And maybe Maleficent? Yeah, maybe Maleficent. So yeah, there's a lot of them that actually used to be just released as mini dolls for the Disney Princess line with Lego Friends elements included as well. And now we have them with minifig interpretations, which always was a slower thing to happen, even with characters like, some of the other Disney princesses were like that. I was very much like, okay, first figure I want to buy is Jasmine from the series because it's great to have her as a minifigure, There's also nice ones in here that follow up from other figures that were in the other Disney series from beforehand, like the Queen of Hearts following up with Alice and Cheshire Cat, or, this version of Stitch with 4 arms and the whole alien suit following up from the previous Stitch with only 2 arms. It does beg me to want a bit more out of them, because as nice as it is for some of these to have like 2 from a series, it also makes me think like there's probably a couple other Disney properties out there that haven't been recreated in Lego yet, and I hope they get to that at some point, whether as a set or otherwise. I do want to get the Up House at some point. I know that's another one in the Disney 100 series that does help with this. Oswald the Rabbit is very cool from a historical standpoint. Even if I understand like him just being in the series as opposed to anywhere else. And one thing that's really not clear with this checklist, I still bring it up for this purpose. They show how to build this little boost thing for Baymax. I haven't seen pictures in a while. Can't remember what it exactly was for. Maybe it was a charging station. But they have this thing shown as how to assemble it, but they don't actually tell you if you just use both of the printed pieces in here to go with the figure, like on both sides, because there's also 2 of these tiles that are completely blank. So is it one goes on one side and blank goes in the other? I'm not entirely sure. I guess I'll look through some other people's reviews and see if there's anything more about that. I don't remember if it has any significance with the movie, if it's like, oh, it only indicates from this side of it, or like it's just some little detail in there. The instructions only really show it from that one angle, so it's kind of hard to tell. And when you have it as like, you know, two separate pieces in here, yeah, I don't really know how it's supposed to go together. So, yeah, I'm still looking out, especially for Pinocchio, more than anybody else in this series, and mostly for that bizarre Lego purpose. Um, but Baymax is a good one to have, just for the arms sake of it. Um, yeah, so I think we'll wrap that up for now. I'll figure out what to do with the spares sometime later. And thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And let me know if you've picked up all the Disney 100 figures yet, or any of the Disney 100 sets in general. We'll see you next time with more LEGO videos. I'm still getting over being sick, so I will keep on working on that. But have yourselves a great weekend, and happy Labor Day. Do people say happy Labor Day? I just know that's coming up. So just keeping that in mind. Check back on Bazaar Lego. There's a link down in the description below if you want to see more about the updates of the Kickstarter. I will continue updating about that as the process has been going, but I'm very grateful for everybody's support up to this point, and that it is more than reached its goal, and phenomenally, like, from a lot of your support, more than I've been, more than I was aware that I was able to keep people interested. So I very much appreciate that. Thank you. Take care. I'll talk to you later. We'll see you next time with more LEGO videos.